Hello and welcome to Clearview Television. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. Jennifer Abubakar explains why she is walking out of her marriage with her first love, Atiku Abubakar. 40 oil spill sites at various stages of completion in Ogoni land. Amnesty International reports faults Israeli laws, policies and practices against Palestinians as apartheid. I am Nkiru Omuli. Welcome. Jennifer Abubakar, one of the wives of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, said she did not request a divorce because Atiku married a new wife. Jennifer says the core reason for the divorce is because of disagreements over her continuous stay in the United Kingdom. The estranged wife said she has no problem with Atiku marrying a new wife, adding that some of the ex-vice president's friends had tried to mediate and stop the divorce, but their efforts proved abortive. Jennifer also claimed that Atiku has requested to collect an asset previously given to her. She noted that during the initial mediation discussion, Atiku denied that he gifted their matrimonial home in Asokoro to her even after she showed him the document with the signature of his aide. As at the time of filing this report, Atiku is yet to make any public statement to react to Jennifer's claims and reasons for requesting a divorce. Clearview TV believes this may not be a good time for the former vice president to be facing this type of emotional development as he is pursuing his ambition to become the president of Nigeria. At 75, age appears not to be on his side, and 2023 may be his last chance to contest the presidency. However, the mood of the nation presently is not favoring that power should remain in the north after President Muhammadu Buhari's 8 years in power. But that has not stopped Atiku from subtly campaigning for the presidency. For Atiku, it has been a lifelong dream. His first shot at the presidency was in 1992 on the platform of the Social Democratic Party, SDP. In 1999, President Olusegun Obasanjo picked him as his running mate after winning the governorship of Adamawa State. He fell out with his boss and was not the chosen candidate to succeed Obasanjo in 2007. In 2019, he contested against an incumbent and gave the president a good run for his money. Filled with so much emotion and grief, the chairman and CEO Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, Honorable Abike Dabiri-Erewa, has visited the Agbo-Oluwaje family in Ebute-Metta, Lagos State, to condole with them over the loss of their son, Fadula Agbo-Oluwaje. Honorable Abike Dabiri-Erewa, who described the death of Fadula Agbo-Oluwaje as unfortunate, rude, shock, and avoidable, informed the family, represented by Mrs. Muslima Agbo-Oluwaje and her two daughters, of the immediate intervention of the Nigerian ambassador to Ukraine, Ambassador Fatai Alege, who, with the consent of the father, immediately demanded an autopsy. The NIDCOM boss added that the Nigerian envoy had given all necessary preliminary assistance, pledging that the Nigerian government will work with the family on the next steps to take on the issue of alleged negligence by the institution. Mrs. Agbo-Oluwaje narrated how she has been in a constant communication with her son till 11 p.m. when he complained of the non-functional heater in his room and requested that it be fixed, but got no response from the receptionist on duty. He had also sent his mother pictures of the room, which was in a most deplorable state. It could be recalled that Fadula Agbo-Oluwaje had arrived in Lviv, Ukraine on January 8, 2022 and was reported dead a day later. Meanwhile, preliminary autopsy reports indicate that Fadula died of pneumonia due to effects of extreme cold weather. Chief Edwin Clark, the Ijaw leader, has maintained that it is the turn of the South to produce the next president. Clark therefore called on northern politicians from both the PDP and the APC to drop their presidential ambition. The elder statesman specifically made this call to Governor Aminu Tambuwal, Bukola Saraki, and Atiku-Abubakar to drop their presidential ambitions. The advice was given by the Ijaw leader, Chief Edwin Clark, in a statement speaking to northern politicians who are joining the presidential race. The elder statesman noted that they must understand that the ideology of a rotational presidency is vital for national cohesion and peace. As such, Clark called on Atiku, Saraki, and Tambuwal to acknowledge the fact that it is time for the South geopolitical zone to produce the next Nigerian president. And ahead of the FCT Area Council elections scheduled to hold on 12th of February 2022, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has assured residents of the Federal Capital Territory of a peaceful and credible election. He gave the assurance this Tuesday in Abuja at a meeting organized for resident electoral commissioners and the heads of security agencies. Clearview TV's Gloria Atta reports that the meeting was held under the auspices of the Inter-Agency Consultative Committee on Election Security.
With the FCT Area Council elections scheduled to hold 11 days from now, stakeholders from the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), resident electoral commissioners (RECs), and heads of security agencies under the auspices of the Inter-Agency Consultative Committee on Election Security (ICES) met with members of the press to discuss on the security situation and readiness of security operatives in delivering a peaceful, free and fair election of residents in the FCT. The chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, while speaking, said the commission has put proper mitigation strategies in place to evaluate the risk of electoral violence, like the Election Violence Mitigation and Advocacy Tool, which is used to identify early warning signs that could assist security agencies and other stakeholders in devising appropriate strategies to tackling all forms of threats to a peaceful, free and fair election.
In the next few days, the Commission will intensify its engagement with stakeholders, particularly party leaders, transport providers, civil society organizations, and the media. We will work with all stakeholders to ensure that the forthcoming election is peaceful and our processes credible. That is why this meeting is crucial. Securing the environment is the foundation for a peaceful, well-organized and credible election. This was clearly demonstrated in the peaceful conduct of the recent Anambra State governorship election. Let us make the FCT Area Council election another shining example of a peaceful election.
As the Commission puts in final touches to the FCT chairmanship and councillorship election scheduled for 12th of February 2022, it wishes to note that the FCT election is not known to have recorded any form of violence in the past, and he urged all security agencies to replicate the level of professionalism being exhibited in the last Anambra election as we look forward in conducting this FCT elections.
In addition to FCT Area Council election, INEC is also preparing for 6 by-elections on 26 February 2022, followed by the Ekiti and Osun governorship elections on 18th June and 16th July 2022 respectively. Gloria Atta reporting for Clearview Television.
The Senate this Tuesday passed the Civil Aviation Bill 2022, seeking to repeal the Civil Aviation Act 2006. The passage followed the adoption of the report of the Senate Committee on Aviation at a plenary. Presenting the report, Senator Smart Adeyemi, chairman of the committee, said the aim of the bill was to produce or provide an effective legal and institutional framework for the regulation of civil aviation in Nigeria to conform with the standards and recommended practices set by the International Civil Aviation Organization. He added that the legislation was aimed at establishing rules of operation and divisions of responsibility within the Nigerian civil aviation system in order to promote aviation safety. He said the bill, when assent to, would be applicable to all persons holding licenses that have been issued or validated by the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA. The federal government has awarded contracts for the cleanup of 37 more polluted sites under the remediation work approved for the cleanup of the oil-rich Ogoni land. The Minister of Environment, Sharon Ikazo, who announced this at the presentation of the progress report on Ogoni land cleanup exercise and remediation work at more than 40 sites, are presently at various stages of completion.
The United Nations Environmental Programme (UNEP) is the consultant to the Ogoni cleanup project. Since the federal government flagged off the exercise in 2016 to restore the land affected by oil pollution, its implementation has been a subject of controversy. But at a forum in Abuja held to review the level of progress, the Minister of Environment, Sharon Ikazo, said significant achievements have been recorded.
In 2019, under this project, 21 lots were awarded for remediation. This covered 12 of the 65 lots that were in the UNEP report. And the lots covered an area of 276 acres. To date, 18 of these lots have been completed, closed out, and certified by NOSDRA. 3 of these lots are currently undergoing certification process. An additional 29 lots were awarded for remediation of sites in February 2020, covering an area of 289 acres. 6 of these sites have been completed and certified by NOSDRA, while 2 outstanding sites at Bidere and Ogale are above 60% completion.
The minister also announced the award of contracts for remediation work at 37 more polluted sites, adding that the federal government remains determined to restore the confidence of the affected people in its ability to right the wrongs.
I go down every quarter to Ogoni land and meet with the people in their local government communities. And that is how we have been building trust between the people and government. And UNEP is still part of the system. They wrote the report. They are still consultants.
The remediation work is in line with the reports of the United Nations Development Programme, which highlighted the sufferings of the Ogoni people that have been worsened by years of oil exploration by the multinational oil companies.
The Nigerian media, civil society groups, and other financial bodies now have a task to monitor and make periodic reports on the level of implementation of the 2022 budget of Cross River State. The special advisor to the governor on budget, Otu Ita, who handed down the task at a budget implementation workshop in Calabar, the state capital, said such a measure is to help ensure effective implementation of the budget to achieve desired targets.
Tagged the budget of conjugated agglutination, the Cross River State House of Assembly has passed an estimate of $354 billion for the 2022 fiscal year. Governor Ben Ayade has since given assent to the appropriation bill as passed by the state lawmakers. As implementation of the budget commences, a one-day stakeholders workshop was held to examine proper strategies to be put in place to ensure timely implementation of the appropriation law to ensure that set goals and targets are met for the overall interest of the people of the state. Addressing participants at the workshop, Governor Ayade's special advisor on budget, Otu Ita, said the media, civil society groups, and others have a critical role to play. He said they can do this through effective monitoring to ensure that the budget is fully implemented by relevant ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs.
The government of Cross River State feels that it's very important that we tell our citizens the direction of government. We'll tell them what provisions we've made for 2022 fiscal year. The big spenders in 2022 are the social sector. We're looking at the Cross River State government has made sufficient provision for the Ministry of Health The Ministry of Health has a lot of other departments under it. I think a provision of about 18 billion naira has been set aside for Ministry of Education and related services.
The budget advisor also noted that, despite the challenges of 2021, the performance assessments of the year's budget was above average. He is, however, hopeful that 2022 will be better due to the tracking mechanism put in place. Based on the implementation template, the Cross River State 2022 budget will be policed, monitored and interrogated to ensure good performance in all sectors.
We'll take a quick break now and bring you more reports when we return. Please stay with us.
Listen to this truth. We are growing by the day and our viewership keeps growing on our different platforms. We are inviting you to advertise your goods and services with us at incredibly low rates. And do you have news for us? Script or video, please contact us through our email address clearviewnewsroom@gmail.com or WhatsApp line 080-650-30-300. Again, 080-650-30-300. Welcome on board.
You're welcome back. The Ondo State Commander of the Southwest Regional Security Outfit, Amotekun, says its operatives has, within January this year alone, arrested no fewer than 150 crime suspects, in addition to suspected ritualists. Parading some of the suspects in Akure on Monday, the Ondo State Commander of the Corps, Adetunji Adeleye, said one of the ritual suspects was in possession of human parts at Sabo area of Ondo State. He speaks further on the various tactics employed by criminals to perpetrate their crimes.
Here, who was caught and arrested with legs and hands of human being wrapped in paper. And upon interrogation, he took us to where he severed the body of the person killed. Some of them are ritualists, some suspected armed robbers, some of them are suspected kidnappers. We have one in blue there. He specializes in buying food and supplies for kidnappers.
All the arrested suspects are to be handed over to the police for proper investigation and prosecution after the completion of their interrogation to determine their level of involvement. And to the southeast now, 11 workers of Umuniochi Council in Abia State have been kidnapped by yet-to-be-identified gunmen. The council workers, who were said to be returning from the traditional marriage ceremony of their colleagues at about 5 p.m., were seized by the unknown gunmen at Leiru, a boundary town between Abia and Imo states along the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway. Report has it that the 11 workers were traveling in a bus when the kidnappers struck. Some of the workers escaped while the kidnappers took others into the bush. State President of the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, Iketi Nwaegwe, who confirmed the incident, disclosed that it has been reported to the Umuniochi Police Division and commended the chairman of the Umuniochi Council, Chief Ifeanyi Madu, for his efforts. Meanwhile, it was gathered that workers of the council have been convening prayer sessions, praying to God for the release of their colleagues. Let's now join Gloria Atta for the latest happenings on the entertainment scene.
Welcome to the month of love, guys, and welcome to our entertainment segment where we bring you juicy stories, lovely stories from the entertainment industry. I am Gloria Atta. Stay with me. Now, social media has been agog since music icon Rihanna shared the news of her pregnancy with her boyfriend A$AP Rocky by showing off her blossoming bump yesterday. Her father, Ronald Fenty, has joined the train of reactions. Speaking in an interview from his home in Barbados, Ronald said he was so happy that he jumped for joy. He said, Rihanna always said she wanted children. She loves kids. She always takes care of her cousin's kids. She's going to be a good mom. Rihanna's boyfriend first met her father in December 2020 when she brought him to her dad's house on the Caribbean islands he lives on. He added to the outlet that ASAP is a very cool guy and he likes him. Rihanna's dad isn't the only one reacting, as shortly after it was revealed that Rihanna and A$AP Rocky are expecting a child, Don Jazzy, who has made no secret the fact that he has a crush on Rihanna, took to Instagram to share Riri and A$AP's photo with the caption, "It is finished."
One of Pamari, I don't break coconut water for my head, all my body still dey hot. My body just dey shake. I don't wanna pray for me. No, it's this life, not just balance at all.
Sammy Okposo has returned to Instagram after initially deactivating his account. The gospel singer revealed that he cheated on his wife with a woman and will be stepping back from working in the ministry for a while. The woman he was involved with also granted an interview revealing she is pregnant with the singer's child. She revealed that he hid his marital status from her and asked her to abort the pregnancy when she took him. After the interview went viral, Sammy deactivated his Instagram account. Well, Sammy has now returned back to Instagram and he shared a lengthy post about God freeing him from the power of sin. He added that he is no longer bound by the fear of men and God loves him just as he is. His wife of 11 years, Ozioma Okposo, reacted to the post by liking it. Big Brother Naija Season 6 winner Hazel Onowu, also known as White Money, has broken his silence about what happened to his relationship with his colleague, Queen Mercy Etang. The reality star held an interview with Ebuka Obi Uchendu on Robin Minds, and he claimed that their feud was caused by a misunderstanding which resulted to him being blocked on all social media platforms. According to White Money, Queen had called and dropped a message asking him to address a particular issue she had with one of his fans, but unfortunately, he was offline because he was in a flight and had taken his profile picture off, so he couldn't respond immediately. He further stated that maybe she thought he had blocked her and decided to do the same. He is, however, hopeful that the fight will be resolved soon. Well, we all hope that they resolve their beef, sha. Now, popular Guinean musician Grand P has declared himself the ambassador for women in Cameroon. The artist, who is currently in Cameroon having fun with well-endowed women, took to his official Facebook page earlier today to make the announcement. He wrote, "Grand P is now the ambassador of women in Cameroon. Whatever a woman wants, God wants." Hey, well, I have no comment on that. Alright guys, that's all we get to take on our entertainment segment today. Many thanks for joining us. I'll lead you back to Nkiru.
Thanks, Gloria. And to the foreign scene now, Amnesty International says Israeli laws, policies and practices against Palestinians in Israel and the occupied territories amount to apartheid. A new report alleges that the Israeli state maintains an institutionalized regime of oppression and domination of the Palestinian population for the benefit of Jewish Israelis. Apartheid is considered a crime against humanity under international law. Israel says it absolutely rejects all the false allegations in the report. A foreign ministry spokesperson accused Amnesty of recycling lies, inconsistencies, and unfounded assertions that originate from well-known anti-Israeli hate organizations. The report also denies the state of Israel's right to exist as the nation-state of the Jewish people. Its extremist language and destruction or distortion of historical contexts were designed to demonize Israel and pour fuel onto the fire of anti-Semitism. Apartheid was a policy of racial segregation and discrimination that was enforced by the white minority government in South Africa against the country's black majority from 1948 until 1991. And that's all on the news, but before we go, a quick recap of our main stories. Jenifer, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's favorite, has said she did not request for a divorce because her husband married a new wife, but because of disagreements over her continuous stay in the United Kingdom. Minister of State for Environment Sharon Ikazo has presented a progress report on the cleanup of Ogoni land. The minister said over 40 sites are at various stages of completion, while 37 new sites have been awarded for remediation. We also told you that Amnesty International has reported that Israeli laws, policies and practices against Palestinians in Israel and the occupied territories amount to apartheid. A new report said the Israeli state maintains an institutionalized regime of oppression and domination of the Palestinian population for the benefit of Jewish Israelis. Do remember to like us on Facebook, Clearview Television. Follow us on Twitter at Clearview Online. Follow us on Instagram at ClearviewTV_NG. And also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Clearview TV. Thank you for watching. I am Nkiru Obuli.